Okay, we're going to video this little plan here. This is a house that I just built in Southwest Virginia. It's very simple. So there's your rear. So that's what it looks like when you're standing looking at the rear of it. Here's what it looks like when you're standing looking at the front of it. There's the left side elevation. If I can pull back and get that all in there. And then you got your right side elevation right below it. And that's basically what the house is going to look like from the front, rear, sides. Looking at the floor plan here, real simple. Got a bedroom and a bathroom, and then a living room. This bedroom, I don't know if you can pick up the sizes on that or not, but it's supposed to be 13 foot 5 inches, but I had that wall moved out. So that wall there, that's where the sink is, has actually been moved out a foot. So I have 1 foot bigger on the bathroom and 1 foot bigger on the bedroom. I left the closet dimensions the same. I pulled the other foot off of the bathroom. So now I have a 5 foot by 9 foot bathroom. Most bathrooms in a home are going to be, you know, that little bathroom that's in the hallway or something. The guest bath, I guess they call it. They're usually about that size. That gives you enough room to fit a 30-inch tub and have enough clearance there for the toilet, and then like a 24-inch vanity. I really wanted like a 32-inch vanity, and I wanted a little bit wider shower pan. So everything works out really good. You got to keep in mind that your toilet there has to be a certain amount of distance between it and the tub and it and the sink, and that's by code, but you're going to want it anyways because you got to get to your toilet. So everything else pretty much remained the same. You know, you got your regular kitchen there with your stove, and then a hot water heater, washer and dryer, and the rest of it's just a pretty simple living space. So this thing is 16 feet wide and 40 foot in length with an 8 foot front patio. So the patio just comes right off the front of it, and the roof is very easy. I guess you can kind of see right here. There's the roof. That's how you want a roof, just like that. I believe that's a 512 pitch. That's another thing that's required by code. So it's going to be different in different areas. Some might be steeper, some might be not quite so steep, and some you can pretty much do flat, you know. Depends on where you're at and how much snow you're going to get. So anyways, we're back over here now to the plan. I'm going to read through a couple of these general notes here. All work shall be in compliance with state and local codes. Reference building code is the current edition of the Virginia USBC and referenced 2018 Virginia Residential Code. Dimensions are for reference only. Contractor shall verify all dimensions prior to work. Dimensions are face of framing or masonry. All design and construction responsibility related to electric power, lighting, plumbing, HVAC, air conditioning, rests solely with the contractor and the owner. So this was an owner build, so I'm pretty much responsible for all that stuff. You know, you have contractors are going to come in and do some of that work for you, hopefully, or you can do it all yourself. All materials are to be new unless approved by the building official. Footings are to be on undisturbed soil with a minimum bearing capacity of 2,500 pounds per square foot. So the bottom of the footing is to be a minimum of 24 inches below finished grade. Excavation, any fill is required. Concrete in perimeter and piers shall have a compressive strength of 3,500 psi within 28 days of placement. Concrete shall conform to the following requirements. So you can see that right there. And then we'll go to trusses. Trusses shall be pre-engineered zinc-coated metal plates connected to wood trusses designed by the supplier with a qualified professional engineer. That means there's engineering on the trusses. So if you go throwing your own trusses up and there's no engineering on them, it probably ain't going to work. Loading requirements are roof trusses below 4,000 foot elevation, 110 mile per hour load, 30 pounds per square foot of snow loading with no reductions, lateral bracing as required by the supplier and designing engineer. Above 4,000 foot, you got 140 mile per hour wind load, 30 pounds per square foot snow load with no restrictions. Floor trusses shall be designed for 40 pounds per square foot loading. Lateral bracing as required by the supplier and the design engineer. Hangers and clips, hurricane clips shall be installed on each roof joist. There's just a bunch of stuff in there. I'm tired of reading it. I'll try to see if you guys can read it. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not saying you can't read, but hopefully you'll be able to read what I'm getting at there. Interesting stuff in there. You know, you have to do things like this. Ice and water barrier shall be installed under roof valleys and it also is going to be required on the outside for ice and water shield in case you get any ice built up. So anyways, that's what you're looking at. So we got the 2x6 walls, and this is up to code here. So 2x6 walls. You can't get R19 and a 2x4 wall. So you're going to have to use 2x6s, and this is by code. The 2x4 walls would be R15. So you don't use 2x4 because you can't get, well, I don't know now. It's interesting. 2x4 walls. I don't believe you can build out of 2x4s anymore, but it says 2x4 walls R15. But I thought by code you have to do 19 or 21 in this area. So anyways, I did 2x6 walls and R21. Floor I did R21. 19 and 21. There's no difference in price. Got a bathroom vent. They call it the fart fan, but it's not really, I mean, it'll work for that, but it's actually to clean out the humidity that builds up. You take a hot shower in there, there's a lot of humid air, and you need to get that humid air out of there. So that's what that fan is for in the roof. It's actually to take the condensation out of the bathroom to prevent mold and mildew and stuff like that from growing. So this is just the first page. There's, you know, 3 pages to it. I can't get to all of them right now, but you know, it kind of gives you an idea. You got some riser notes here on the porch and stairs. The maximum riser distance is 8.25 inches. So on these stringers here, it has to be 8.25 inches in height on the stairs for code. And the reason being is because that's about what all stairs are, and they get used to going up and lifting their leg that high to go upstairs. If you make them higher than that or lower than that, it actually really throws you off. So you want to stay right there at about 8 inches, maybe 7 3/4. They're going to let you know. We did a metal roof. You know, we were going to do vinyl siding. Probably says on there somewhere. No, it says here siding per owner. So right there. Ended up doing metal siding. I was going to do vinyl siding. That would have been a big mistake. Big mistake. I wouldn't recommend that. So, and you got your little crawl space underneath here, you know, because this is a block foundation. So your plumbing and everything's underneath there. You got to have some access, you know, when you get it all framed up. I had to crawl through that hole. It's a little bigger than that. I'm a little fatter than average, so I had to make that hole just a little bit bigger. So make your I think the thing was 24 by 24. Anyways, make it bigger than that, because you're going to have to go in there and visit the underneath of your house every once in a while. So that's how you get underneath there. Alright, so that's what we're looking at. There's the dimensions and stuff. So it's an easy to build, easy to understand floor plan. It's going to be, you know, cheap to build. It's not going to be like real cheap anymore because of the price of everything, but it's nice, affordable. You know, so far our electric bill, we got a mini split on it. Electric bill's been about $115 a month on average, probably for summer and winter. You know, sometimes it's 70, sometimes it's 150, but that's been real nice. Taxes are fairly cheap. You know, we got 3.2 acres and a house on it, and the real estate taxes are right about $500 bucks, I think. So something to think about when you're building is what it's going to cost you in the long run to heat and cool and property taxes. All right, I gotta go.